Josh, also known as Josh Sparky, and welcome to my channel. I'm in trade school learning about the National Electrical Code, electrical theory in the state of Massachusetts. Not out in the field yet, but I am putting in the time required, those required training hours. Also, if you are a licensed electrician looking for an apprentice, I do have my resume on my website, joshsparky.com. First started learning this stuff, it became very overwhelming with the amount of information that's out there. It's almost information overload. People that will be talking about it, different ways of teaching it, formulas thrown into it. Maybe show people it's not really as intimidating as it looks, and it's actually pretty interesting, and it teaches me a lot as well, trying to make content around it, because I actually have to do more research and I have to learn how to explain things without losing somebody. I'm working through different sections of the NEC. At my school, we have just finished up learning about fire alarms and swimming pools, along with junction boxes and grounding and bonding. We touched on how anything I learned from school, take it, break it down, I'll go through it again and try to teach myself like I'm my own teacher and try to explain everything. I'll research everything to make little quick hits on it, and that's what I like to post. Sparky Weekly, which is basically my weekly report of what I've learned, content I've made around what I've learned, a newsletter format you'd get in your email, but it's just on my website. Code questions, which you can find the archives on, which is basically any TikTok post or YouTube short I made that's asking a question. Sometimes I'll take what I post on Fast Tracks, I'll put it into a video format, and then I'll post it on socials just to try to get discussion around it. And I also take the discussion created by those posts and create code questions for the next. I use everything in a way to try to gain more knowledge. Everything I do, there's a reason to it on here. The website is just archiving everything. So if you want to find more info, go to joshsparky.com. Study journal, which is all of my thoughts and everything I'm learning while studying. Anything I find interesting, any topic, any thought that goes in my mind, I'll just type it out and I'll put it into a little journal entry there. Basically see all of my quick hits. Josh the Sparky 4 across Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And Fast Track form, which once again, that's where all of my code questions are. I am a proud affiliate of Fast Track System, Electrical Code Academy. So you do want to learn more about electrical and get more involved and just upgrade your knowledge on it, whether you're just starting out or you're already a master. I highly recommend go check out fasttracksystem.com/AFF/107. That's my affiliation link. You can go through their shop as well, get yourself a hat clip right here, and you can have a nice way to advertise your website, your business, your link tree, whatever you want. You can scan it and all your information will be right there. That's all my plans. I wanted to make like a little beginner video, a little starter video, my first video, I guess.
As you can see, the NFPA link, when you buy the subscription, it's $13 a month, and I'm just going to show you guys how to use a search bar and find what you need to find in the code book. An NFPA link through Firefox web browser, what I use. That's what NFPA link recommends on their site. They recommend you use Firefox or Edge. I just go with Firefox. I don't think it really matters, but yeah, we're gonna just try to explain how to go through it. This was a request by one of my YouTube commenters, so just trying to fulfill that request. I'm a little bit late, so hopefully late's better than never. So when you get an FPA link, this is what you'll have, and it usually gives you like a site tutorial or like quick tutorial. It popped up and then disappeared. It does that sometimes, but you can find it, more info here. Question mark button. Go and like explore app updates and go through what they change. Say goodbye to references and notes scattered across apps, and make your own notes in here. And see, I made some older notes here. got NFPA Direct, which kind of set what you want to directly study, or aircraft hangars, and it'll give you all the information for aircraft hangars or NEC. So pretty cool. Bookmarks, you can see all my bookmarks here. Collections, you can organize them. And right here is the search. This is Cassie, their AI model. She can use to find. I got some voltage drop things here I was looking up, and when to, the optional method, stuff like that, just testing it out. But I always recommend TradeHog rather than that. Anyways, I'm gonna try to show you guys how to search. So you go to search and you can select your publication. Search scope, select publications is what I have selected. And include NFPA Insights, which used to be NFPA Enhanced, I believe. And then they changed it to Insights, and that's information from the handbook, I believe. Turn that on and get extra information. I always like reading. So right here is all my favorites. Select yours. You'll probably have none when you first start, but favorites you should have is 70, 70B, 70E, and 72, because the fire alarm signal and code is pretty important as well to learn. So since we're just talking about the NEC today, I'm just gonna select that. Then you can scroll down more and you got chapters, annexes, articles, sections. You can sort it by, but we're not even gonna select anything like that. We're just gonna have it be this for now. Now nothing's gonna change until we enter anything the search. So you got show results by relevance or appearance, which doesn't really make sense up here. I just leave by relevance because I want what's relevant to the topic. And it says here, focus on one topic or task at a time. Narrowing the scope helps generate more relevant responses. So try to give it enough keywords to not confuse it. Enough keywords, but not too many keywords. So we'll just go off of one of my questions here. We got a question of the week: which appliances doesn't qualify? A restaurant feeder supplies the following equipment: electric range, fryer, ice machine, dishwasher. Under the NEC 2026 Article 12056, which item is automatically excluded from the commercial manufacturers? This one's kind of giving you an answer already in the where to find it. So we're not even going to use that one. I want to try to find one that I can use as a good example here. By the way, you can go to necchat.com and see all of my questions right here. We'll go with this disconnect question. In a dwelling unit, what is the maximum number of service disconnects permitted under NEC rules for a single service? So let's just go service disconnects. That's a good keyword, I'd say. So let's go paste that in. And right here, we immediately have some good information. 2 to 6 service disconnects. 2 to 6 service disconnects permitted for each service permitted by 230.4 for each service entrance conductors permitted by 230.40, and it goes on. So already this put us in a good area. Look at that service. Wow. Count that. 2, 4, 6. Crazy. And we got grouping of disconnects. So this puts you in a good area. And so you got to the most difficult thing is giving it keywords. Obviously, this is a good example, but now we try to Oh, this is joshthesparky.com, by the way, where you can view my guide, which I'll be dropping soon in the journal section, on how to navigate everything on here. So you can just go on here and it'll link you to what you need to find on here and how to navigate it correctly. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, you can see select all of NFPA 70 here, or just Article 230 services. And you select all of NFPA and you can go through all of NFPA. You can see results change down here from 174 to 1,350 something. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward on how to navigate it. If you have a question that gives you good keywords. And I heard from the commenter that asked this question, or asked me to make this video going through how to search on here. A lot of schools this to now instead of using the book, which is weird because I always thought using the book, learn the layout of the book, because you can see the layout of the book. Here you kind of can't, really don't. I mean, it shows you the layout, but down here it gets a little messy with informative annexes, and you don't have the index or table of contents that I would like to really go through as well to find certain things, or put me in a certain path to find certain things. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it. But everyone has their own preference. I always resort to the book, but this is pretty awesome to just have like on your phone, then have everything through an app. Obviously you got to pay for it, $13 a month or like 100 something for a year. It's worth it for anyone in the electrical like industry, I'd say, because it's all important information. You can see all the stuff I've been looking through, so I get my money, my value out of it. So yeah, thought it's just a little video going through their app and everything. Obviously I didn't cover everything. Stay tuned on my website for like a whole detailed text description, but I'll make more videos on this, diving code book on here and how to use the search function, and going through this NFPA Direct. Just make a cool little like 10-minute video out of it, just through it. So yeah, hopefully you found value out of that.
What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to go over my Fast Tracks system form question I made for the 2023 NEC. I make them every week. necchat.com, fasttrackssystem.com/portal. You can join today for free. Just an email is required so you can get updates and notifications, etc. Join for free and you can get involved on this very question and put your own thoughts and opinions there in a civilized manner. A single family dwelling has 2,800 square feet of floor area calculated from the outside dimensions, excluding open porches, garages, and unfinished portions. Calculate the minimum general lighting load plus small appliance and laundry load before applying demand factors. The 2023 NEC, okay? That's the code question of the week from 4 days ago on Friday. Now, when you're thinking of this question, excluding porches, garages, and unfinished portions, it's insinuating that there is a garage, there's an open porch, and there is an unfinished portion on that dwelling unit that we are excluding, right? But in the code 220.5 for the 2023 code, 220.5 calculations, section C, floor area, and I'm going to just read it word for word here. The floor area for each floor shall be calculated from the outside dimensions of the building, dwelling unit, or other area involved For dwelling units, the calculated floor area shall not include open porches or unfinished areas not adaptable for future use, such as habitable rooms or occupiable space. Right? In the code, you have to include it. And we're excluding something that we're supposed to be including, and that is actually part of the question. So, it's an interesting paradox I created. But the answers, I believe, are still accurate. I believe you can pick another option, because if you did it the way this question just says it, right, without like thinking of the garage part or adding in the garage, the answer would be 12,900, I believe. All right. But that wouldn't be right if you added a garage, because a garage adds another 1,500 VA to this calculation. So it would change the answer a little bit, and it would change your calculation because you would have to calculate that in. You still have to open the book and dissect the question and come up with your conclusion for the question. So that's why I always add like an answer, another, with the options you have A, B, C, or D. I add another one like an E option, which is just answer in the comments. You can put your own answer, your own conclusion in the comments for situations like this, when I do make errors or miscues, or I just overlook something, and it can change the whole outcome of what we're talking about. But that's kind of how I'm thinking of it. You know, when you see this question, it's like, oh, you're excluding a garage, but you know, you wouldn't mention a garage if there was no garage being built onto that dwelling, right? So that's the way I'm looking at it. And if I didn't put garage there, I don't think there would have been a really, I don't think the question would have had any issues. I don't think there would have been any error in it, because then you would just be calculating what it says to calculate. But it's that exclude garages, which is going against the code, which there's nothing in the 2023 NEC calculations that I can see that says excluding garages. Now, someone can come in and blow this all out the water, which I'm hoping someone does, because I want to learn. Yeah, that's why we are on Fast Tracks and always learning. Best place to do it, fasttracksystem.com/portal. This is the 2023 edition. Right here is the index. We'll have the index always in the back of the book. Right there is informative annex. But right here's your index. And it's usually for the 2023. That's the page number. There's index. And yeah, this is a good way to kind of just learn the book. Figure out where everything is. You can see I got a lot of things, annexes. I was studying that, and it kind of just breaks it all down for you to go through. And you know, obviously you can't really rely on it during the exam. It'll get you somewhere, especially with highlights in certain spots. You don't want to cover the whole thing in highlights, or else it kind of voids the whole purpose of having highlights. Now I'm going to show you the table of contents, which is at the front of the book. If I still have the front of the book. It'd be awkward if I don't, huh? Right here. And right there's contents. And it gives you a more, you can see the chapter, a little bit more in depth of where everything is. I don't think it lists everything, but you can definitely find what you need. And then you have your third option here of tabbing everything out. I wish I never did all of these tabs. I wish I kind of didn't buy tabs, because I just ended up making my own after a while. And you're going to find like little hacks like that, but you got to make sure you can do it in your state, because you might not be able to get away with doing that. You walk in and you show them your book, they're gonna go like this to your book and make sure there's nothing in it, and like no notes or any cheat codes or anything like that in your book, or against like custom tabs like this, which Massachusetts isn't against this. You know, this is the same thing as this. So, but now if I had a note here that was like, you know, a sticky note that gave me a cheat code, I'm pretty sure they'd rip that right off my book. So, you know, beware, electrician, beware. You gotta do your own research for your own state. I kind of regret, like, this is even too much highlights now for me. When I get my 2026 book, I'm really not going to have that many highlights in it, and I'm not even going to have that many tabs, honestly. I'm going to just make a nice clean slate. Is going to be nice. But yeah, that's the 2023 code book. Some tips there. Right here I got the basics electricity book. Easy to understand language with hundreds of illustrations. You can see right there it was $20, and that's the price I paid on Amazon for it with Prime. Essentials of electricity and its practical applications. If you want to understand circuits, motors, generators, AC, DC, this book is for you. Research and Education Association. Let's look at the back of the book here. A basic electricity. The material in this book was prepared for electrical training courses. It is a practical manual that enables even the beginner to grasp various topics quickly, and numerous illustrations are included to simplify learning both theories and their applications. Direct current and alternating current devices and circuits are explained in detail, along with magnetism, motors, and generators. The book is an excellent resource for the layperson as well as a licensed electrician. We'll open up and take a look at the book here. You can see I've definitely been through this book. It's actually missing a page. I've highlighted it and I've scribbled on it and doodled on it. Chapters, you got Greek alphabet, common abbreviations and lender symbols, electrical terms, component color code, cable types. You got your table of contents here, safety, fundamental concepts of electricity, batteries, series DC circuits, parallel DC circuits, network analysis of DC circuits. The list goes on. Inductance, capacitance, inductive and capacitive. Written by a highly experienced and talented team of United States Navy instructors, this book is a practical, easy to follow training manual that has served for decades as the go-to reference on basic theory and applications of electricity. The book also lays an excellent foundation for those who wish to proceed from the basics to more advanced topics. Though prepared for electrical training courses in the Navy, the book takes a non-technical approach that makes it helpful. And there you can go through our website for more information. And right here we got chapter 1, the safety rules for technicians. And as you can see, it is a lot of reading, but that is how you learn, just by reading. Read through the first few pages here, it does start to pick up with some images here, some nice illustrations. Shows you some posters there, safety posters. Right here it gets into some electron theory, molecules, goes to talking about the nucleus, more illustrations. Let's skip ahead here a little bit. Right here we got some batteries, reserve cells, mercury cells, and you know, right here, as you can see, this is my favorite page. I don't know how you could tell, but you know, I love studying the math behind this stuff, because math is something I struggled with, so why not study it more if you struggle with it. And I kind of got into just highlighting everything. I don't know, it's something that it was helping my brain like keep up with what I was reading. I just gave up with the highlights because it's like it's going to just hurt me in the long run, because I'm going to have a whole book full of highlights. It gets really into detail, tells you the charging rates and charging time, fast charge, floating charge. Let's go through some of these. I got DC circuits. Go to this tab here. That's this one. Got network analysis. Got the 8th chapter here. This one is you can see it even shows you how to apply tape to the wire to give it that insulation. More battery info. Look how detailed this. Currents flowing in opposite directions. It's just great illustrations. And look at that. Materials. There's so much information in this book, and it's basic. This is just the basics to electricity to get you into something in electricity. Just flipping through some more of these pages here for you. Show you what else it's got here. We'll just flip through the final. Some trigonometry stuff in there as well, which is extremely important. That's something I'm still learning as well. Got some control devices here we'll talk about. Got instruments, galvanometer. galvanometer. Right hand motor rule. That's a great illustration there. You can just see how in depth it gets. It teaches you everything you need to know about basic electricity and illustrates it for you. Watt meter connected to various circuits. Just great detail. I was recommended this book by Electrician U. When I first started getting into the trade, I got this book, A Field Windings of a Rotor. Just amazing stuff here. Got more, that's alternating rotating field right there with your A, C, and B phases. Let's go through here. Acceleration curves, more windings, different ways motors are wound. Just goes into the depth of everything. You could always going to be learning something from that book. Once again, $20 for all of that is a steal in my opinion, and you can get it on Amazon with Prime for probably less. So check it out. I learned something from it, so maybe you will too. What's up, guys? I just want to make a quick video going through my website, joshthesparky.com, alright, because it's pretty new, not that greatly laid out, and things can get pretty confusing on how to browse it, so I thought I'd make like a quick video on how to get there, how to browse it, and how you can look around there and explore it. So you can type in just Josh the Sparky, and I should pop up Josh the Sparky here. Right here, I'm the first result. joshthesparky.com. Right here, you can view my resume. You can explore the site. This will give you a little site map where you can type in whatever, like you can want to browse question of the week. You can go ahead, the latest question of the week I did right here, most recent August 6th. And you can click that and it'll bring you out to necchat.com. You can then study the question right here. Should bring us right to NEC Chat. And right here you got the 2026 National Electrical Code discussion board. And right here we got a 5 horsepower, 22 amp full load current question here that you can go and answer. So that is pretty cool. And right here we have you can go back home and start here. This will give you more explanation on how to browse the site. You can go through Learn, Brain Busters, Sparky's Journal. We have you can explore this, and right here you got another little embed feed here where you can just type in a journal entry, anything that comes to your mind, NEC. You can see any NEC journal entries I made, or you can get rid of that, and you can search by newest and oldest, tags, theory, reviews. I got 2 review sections here for some reason. There is glitches and bugs, so any glitches and bugs you see, just email them to me, which you can find my emails on the site as well. There's 3 of them. There's ask@joshthesparky.com, there is request@joshthesparky.com, and there's business@joshthesparky.com, right? And each one of them are for what they sound like. So ask me a question, request content, or business question. All right, great. You can also browse pinned. I'll have like pinned journals here. Anything like is really important that I think you could read. Trending, whatever that I see is trending on my stats page. For I can see who's browsing what page, like how many people browse what page. So whatever journal entry here that does the most views, I'll just put a trending tag on it. I got editor's choice, which is me. I'm the editor, so it's my choice. So it's a little bit biased, but it's there. If I do get an editor, he can put his choice there, or she. All right, we got exclusive. These are just exclusive to the website, like journals I haven't made any videos on, because a lot of these journal entries I'll take and I'll make into videos. Yeah, you can browse that. That's fun. You can we'll go back to the home page here. You can browse the site through this top little header here, this menu, and you can go through and browse everything. So you don't have to like scroll through and click every button. You go up here to the menu. A lot of people don't even see this on mobile. It's under a little hamburger icon, and you click that, and then it'll drop it down all the pages on the site. So we'll pick another thing here. Live updates. This is something I like because it's something I can control as well. My own feed. So instead of having to deal with like X posts or Blue Sky or whatever many feed apps there is, I link them all to one, and I just update it through my website. I'll just copy and paste it and post it on those apps if needed. So this is where you can find like direct updates, whatever I'm doing. If I'm going to go on a live stream, which I don't really announce before I do them, I will just I'll put out a quick feed update, like I'm going live on this platform. And you can go through, click on a link that will be here. You can view link, and it'll bring you to the broadcast section. I am live, which is right here. Full embed. This is a broadcast that is scheduled because I have a little plan going on where I'm going to have like a 24-hour broadcast that just is playing all of my content, constant live feed, all my stuff. A lot of people try to do my own thing for TV program, but for learning. So yeah, you got broadcasts here. I'll go through more of the content because it's pretty interesting. Where is the videos? Got videos right here, and this is where you can browse all of like my daily uploads. So quick hits, theories, brain busters, and anything like I throw in. Maybe I'll throw in a YouTube video, a long play YouTube video, and that will get thrown here. You can click on it and view it on whatever platform you want. Eventually, I'd like to just have it embedded right into the site, so watch it in the site without having to go on any platform. But that's in the future, right? So you can view yesterday's, what happened yesterday, tomorrow, what's tomorrow, and you can click on these, and it'll bring you to that section of the site. So, for example, quick hits brings you to pretty much browsing my takes on the NEC. So you can go through here, and you can view every video I've made on Article 100, or like the quick hit I've made on Article 100. I haven't updated that, or I got to make more definition. I don't have enough of that. But Article 110 here, this is like complete 110. You can go through, and it's pretty much all my slides put into text form, so you can read them, detailed and archived. So you can go through this, and it's got pictures and breakdowns of each chapter. Little buttons on the side here go to the same place as well. And then at the bottom, it's just a breakdown of how to read the tables, how to read the table, and then you've got an embed here where you can go through a little index, browse through each section, each article. So, and it's just all of my slides in text form and like journals that I link. So it's just a lot of reading if you're into that. Eventually, as I make more videos on this, I'd like to put the videos into what you'll read. So you'll read, and then you click on like audio, and it will be me reading it to you. Click on video, it will be me talking to you. So that's all to come in the future when I got more time. This is just kind of get a format laid out, so I can have something to work on. I'll have whatever I do at work, I can throw it into like a weekend, like cut it all up and post it. I'll figure something. It's all work in progress. But again, if you have any ideas for this site, email them to me, or you can comment them. But it's just comments get so flooded sometimes that I get too many notes. But right here we got about. This is just like about the site. You can do the home page, resume here. This is my resume. Contact me and everything, right? Got facts, frequently asked questions about the site. You can scroll through there. I got terms. This is just legal documents like terms of service, network policies, and each of these has a drop down. That's all just boring legal stuff, And then like a support section here for like if you wanted to support or sponsor affiliation, stuff like that. This is the learn section. This is something I'm constantly working on because I'm trying to streamline it, so it's like it point you to a direction you want to learn easier. But right now it's just linking a bunch of stuff. Some links don't even work right now. This whole section, electrical fundamentals, I haven't linked anything yet. Something is field skills, I haven't linked there yet. This is it hasn't. But you can go through there, learn some stuff. It'll just give you a more in-depth breakdown of the site and each site and pages you can. Schedule. Sorry, I drew out that. Got a post schedule here. This is the monthly schedule. Every month this gets updated. And it's basically just a Google Calendar embedded into the site. You can see all the posts I got going on. If there's a newsletter, you'll see when that comes out every 4th of the month. Every month on 4th. You'll have Sparky Weekly every Sunday, Question of the Week every Friday, Sparky's Journal Thursdays, Brainbusters, Theory, and Quick every day. You can browse through that Monday through Sundays. Then you got What's Playing Now. That'll just bring you straight back to the videos page. There's also Watch Now, should just bring you to quick hits, but you can view videos archive, and this is where you can watch like past broadcasts. And eventually I'd like to have this where you like search up a video and you can but once again, all work in progress, but explore the site there for you to browse through. What else can I show you here? Sparky's Journal. I think I showed that already, didn't I? Sparky's Weekly I haven't shown. So right here, this is just weekly reports you can go through, browse. This will give you like an overview of this week. Go directly to that post. Search previous weeks to go off of to kind of like catch up if you missed something. So this goes all the way back to week. Just search in by month and year once I get up into the years. You can view that. This is really like trying to future proof everything because I'm gonna have a lot of content. I want it to be easy to find what I make, especially if it's a lot of it. You'll be able to filter. This is Brainbusters, my favorite part of the site because I put a lot of effort into getting these questions packet form. Right here, it's basically just questions, code questions. Click here, view all the questions, hints. Everything's from necchat.com. So go through there, and then once you're finished, you can print out the PDF, do it like physically, or you can just do it on here. Once you write down all your, go ahead and give you all the answers. I think I might have just spoiled question 1. Sorry for doing it. Question of the week. Showed you guys this already, but I didn't show you. You can trip a random circuit here, and it'll bring you random page. Pretty cool. Showed you the videos page, Sparky's feed. I showed you the electrician knowledge iceberg. This page I'm still working on. I kind of wanted to organize it and make descriptions here and have it look like a proper iceberg. But this is what it is for now, and these are just journal entries of when I was doing my my electrician's knowledge iceberg series on TikTok. And eventually I would like to turn it into like a proper video before someone else does, or someone else already has. Usually people hop on that stuff pretty, but I'll get to it when I can. But you can go on here and view it, something to go off of, study and learn into. It just gives you like thought experiment, is things to think about. Right here, got a big breakdown what it contains. So we'll go through more here. We got reviews, my review section, and I don't want to show you every page because I kind of want to make it so you can like you got something to explore as well. Sorry, I just had a jolt there, hit a spine, my nerve in my spine just made me recoil to the next reality. But we got tutorials here is something I'm going to be working on soon. Page isn't really done yet, but this is kind of like what pages look like when they're in construction. So if you see things going on like this, like what's going on here, nothing going on because there isn't anything going on yet. I'm working on it. Just there for now. Sparky radio here. This is where you can view everything in audio form. Everything I do in this format, media, videos, slides, I'm going to eventually upload into audio. Something to do like in the car. Sparky radio. It's going to be audio version of Josh the Sparky. So you got that. Site map. This, I believe I showed you guys that already. Search feature. I like right here. This is where you can find literally anything on the site. So if you wanted something specific, just learning things, right here, this is each thing you can, like each category to learn from. Got load calculation. You gotta unselect it. See it, still working on it, but you can like click this. There you go. You got fire alarms, fire safety. Yeah, you can mess around with it, play with it. Pretty cool. I'm proud of that one. Josh the Sparky newsletter right here. You can sign up for our newsletter. We don't have any control of the emails. Like Substack handles that, so you can just put your email there, and I just upload. You don't even have to get the email subscription, so I'm not even gonna talk about that on it. So it's there if you want the email subscription, but you can go right here and just view the full newsletter right on the website. So it completely just for people who don't want to put their email. I know a lot of people I don't like sharing, even like with companies like that. Totally understand. So you can go ahead, view every newsletter, anything I do through the website without like an account or sharing your email in a way. Because the whole goal of the site is to make it easy, like easy access, easily accessible. And right here, this will be like the final page I show because the rest of the site I want you to explore. But right here, featured Sparky. And this is pretty much any interesting content creator or electrician or educator out on I see. I'll put them in like my newsletter just to give them like a little shout out, like, oh, this is like who I got eyes on. You guys should go watch this person. So I threw 5 in here because these were the 5 I most watch on TikTok and listen to and like comment on. So these are all guys I really recommend, guys and gals. I really recommend you go and follow. And if you wanted to get involved in this, you can go ahead and email me your content or your social media at request@joshsparky.com in the newsletter month. Just like a little community if you wanted to get involved on it. So yeah, bottom of the website here, the footer, you can browse everything, links to everything. Wanted to just browse that way. And then I got, the fast tracks promo at the bottom, always promoting about what I like to learn from fast tracks. Unity, Tube, we got the system, Trade Hog, Thermal Electrician, that fun stuff. So yeah, it's here to help you learn, here to help you, here to help me learn as well, because I learned a lot making this site. I learned a lot putting information out on the site. I learned a lot from the feedback I get, So yeah, if you're into that thing, something for you to browse, hit me up if there's something you wanted me to add or if there's a glitch or a bug I needed to fix. It's only me running the show, and I'm pretty slow on things like that, so it may not be up to the par you want it to be. But hopefully I can get it up to a high standard. $25 on Amazon Prime and with a sale going on, I got it for a little bit lower. But for the past few years, I've been studying out of this book, the Creative Homeowners Guides, Ultimate Wiring Guide, updated 9th edition with the National Electrical Code standards in it. It's based on the 2023 standards. I just wanted to go over it to show you what you would get if you got this type of book, or if you got from these guys, and I just thought it was worth showing since I got some value out of it, and maybe you will too. Flip through some pages, not show you like every page, or else that'd probably get into some copyright infringement. Just kind of show you what the book is about. Here's the back of the book. Go to the back of the book here, and this is what really caught my attention when I bought this book. These diagrams here, got 120 volt duplex receptacles and multiple duplex receptacle diagrams, detailed wiring diagrams, and shows you how to make shepherd hooks for your terminations, and a lot of important details. Replace faulty electrical switches, interior and exterior lighting systems, learn about the materials and tools, upgrade your home wiring for safety and convenience. Ultimate Wiring Guide, 9th updated edition. Alright, and that's their website, creativehomeowner.com. You got all the safety information here. Right here's your table of contents, and you can see it just goes on and on. You got the basics of everything wiring, cables, circuit breakers, fuses, electrical boxes, receptacles, switches, voltage transformers. You got your emergency equipment, outdoor wiring, basic circuitry, fuses, breakers. Just gives you so much information. And I really like the pictures it gives you, so you know what you're reading. You can see what you're reading. Right here, all these really in-depth, not crazy in-depth, but in-depth enough diagrams to get your head wrapped around how everything is laid out. Maximum wires in a box. You can see this is pulled pretty much right out of the NEC right there. It gives you the table reference. So it does reference the code book in here quite a few times. So I like, having this along with the NEC, and you can go from, you can kind of get a visual for what you're talking about and studying and trying to get your head wrapped around certain things. Small appliance branch circuits here, installing electrical boxes, got stripping cable, grandfathering in an existing electrical work. A lot of really great things here. Let's flip a few pages in, see what's next. Wiring an end of runner receptacle, what you'll need, insulated screwdriver, tells you exactly what you need, tells you what it is. Receptacle is one of the easiest devices to install because only one cable comes into the box. An end of run receptacle. Some more details and information there of what you'd see when you open it up. Sun's bright there, might not be able to see. More details, wiring diagrams. This is just full of information, useful, basic stuff. We'll flip through more here. Outdoor wiring, low voltage lighting, more low voltage lighting. Got some fittings, a lot of good information. I just wanted to kind of go through it a little bit. I think you guys get the gist of this book. It just goes on and on. Sprinkler systems, you got this attachment, more connector attachments and home automation information. It's just all great information to have. Even if you're not an electrician, you should probably know what's going on in your house. Right there's your panel. Here's your resource guide, where you can get all your resources, websites, phone numbers. Got the glossary. I highly recommend it. For 20 bucks, can't go wrong with it. And it gives you a lot of good information that can relate to the National Electrical Code. So maybe it'll be a benefit to you. Got another video review, book review here that I've been doing, just going through all the books that I've used to help me learn and study the code and electrical better and help me understand it and get my head in the game more. Right here is the Uglies Manual, and you're going to hear this referred to a lot. This is what's mainly used on the field, I believe, instead of, carrying a huge code book around. Some guys just carry this in their tool bag. Right here's the 2023 edition. Probably make more sense if I went and got my code book to compare it with. Hold on. Right here's my code book. You can obviously tell the difference in the two, how the two are sized. You can tell the difference. This was obviously going to fit in your bag a lot better than this piece, but everything that is important is in here, and it references the 2023 NEC quite a lot. If you got the 2023 edition of Uglies, I believe they are coming out with a 2026. I don't know when or what, but if they do, make sure it's by Charles R. Miller. Make sure it's by him. Don't get scammed, you know. But yeah, I'll just show you what's in this book, and I'll kind of show you the comparisons between like what you would see in this book and the NEC. I definitely recommend if you get the Uglies, you should probably have the NEC as well, the full NEC. Like this Uglies came when I got my book, came with it. So I don't know if that's a normal thing or if that was just where I got mine. But something to note, you might get like a bang for your buck with who you buy your code book from. They might toss in an Uglies guide with it. I don't know if that was just me from where I bought mine. Either way, yes, this is the Uglies guide. Let's open up here. You got your tape measure inches right there. Information. Pause the video, jblearning.com. Note from the author. Uglies electrical reference is designed to be used as a quick on-the-job reference in the electrical industry. Used worldwide by electricians, engineers, contractors, designers, maintenance workers, instructors, and the military. Uglies contains the most commonly required information in easy-to-read format. Uglies electrical references is not intended to be a substitute for the National Electrical Code. Remember that. We salute the National Fire Protection Association for the dedication to the protection of the lives and property from fire and electrical hazards through the sponsorship of the NEC code, and it just goes on talking about the NEC and registered trademarks, Quincy, Mass, where I believe the headquarters is located. And right here is your table of contents. A lot of detail here. You can see I highlighted stuff like I was commonly referring to. Got your KVA, and this is stuff like I would know now. I probably wouldn't highlight it now. Like that's the thing with highlights, is that they become redundant after a while, in my opinion, and it just ruins your book and confuses you, because now your eye goes to that instead of looking for something else. But anyways, that's a personal opinion. But we'll go over some of these table of contents. You got jogging, voltage drop, short circuits, component protection, keeps going, maximum number of conductors in RMC, number of conductors in flexible metal conduit. It just keeps going on and on and on. Right here we got Ohm's law, great for the studying apprentice, electrician, anyone trying to learn it. Get some more light here. You know, obviously you wouldn't find that in the code book. You wouldn't find examples to in the code book unless you wrote down some notes in there yourself. Parallel circuits, combination circuits. Right here you got some table referenced. Oh no, that's not a table reference. This is a conversion, alternating current for single phase, three phase. Got to find amperes. Got to find kilowatts, kiloamps, kilovolt amperes, power factor corrections, inductance. Great examples in here. We got the jogging with selector switches. Great diagrams there. More voltage drop examples, capacities. This is ripped right out of the NEC, even references it right there. So you can see adjustment factors, number of conductors, and these are the tables referenced straight in here. So that's the awesome thing about this. So here, let's see if we can test my theory. Maximum number of conductors in flexible metal conduit. All right, let's see if we can find that in the code book, and we can compare it. All right, there we go. Alright, so right here we're on FMC, maximum number of conductors in FMC, flexible metal conduit. And right here I have the same page open in the 2023 NEC and comparing it to the Uglies. Right here we'll go with one of my highlights. I have HN I have highlighted, and we'll go 14, 4, 13. We'll see if we can find that and just know for certain that it's the right thing going on. And you can see right in the code book, THHN 14, 4, 3, it's the exact same thing, just referenced in a smaller hand book for you. I find it pretty useful, you know, instead of carrying this big thing around all day long, keep this in your truck or something, and then you can put this in your bag or in your pocket, in your toolbox, whatever you're doing, something that you can bring along with you, your tool belt even, you can carry this in. And then you got this in the truck for, you know, when you need to go to it and make sure, confirm anything that you need. I thought it was pretty cool. It even has bending. That's what I really was using it for. It even tells you how to tie some knots, how to set up pulleys, how to use a Chicago type bender. Great information, making offsets with the bends. And then it goes over some alternative energy sources, how to use certain meters, certain instrument setting ups. Great information to have, like, when you need it on the site. It's something I'm always going to probably have in my tool bag, along with the NEC always in my backpack in the truck when I'm on a job site. I just thought I'd tell you about it. A lot of people don't know about it and don't know I believe in a lot of states you can bring the uglies in with you for the code exam. I don't know if that is true in all states, but I think it's something to look into. It's definitely something to look into, because I would just bring in any book you can bring in to the code exam that will help you, you know? From what I thought you could bring in, maybe someone can correct me in the comments. I was under the impression you could bring in the 2023 NEC, whatever year the exam is on, the NEC, the 70E, 70B, 101 life safety, and the uglies. I thought those were what was allowed to be brought into the exam. I could be completely wrong. You probably only can bring in the NEC to the NEC exam. So, but as for the field stuff goes, I definitely think this is something to have in your tool bag or in your on you all day at all times. It's just a great reference guide and material, and I believe they got a phone app you can go on as well. So yeah, I just thought it was worth mentioning.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to joshthesparky.com radio, podcast, whatever you want to call it. It's here. I wanted to make a little discussion about how I really think you should have your own website, how it really should be a staple if you plan to ever run your own company, business, or just your own brand, especially if you're on social media. With all these social media apps, they can really shut you down any point they want, and it's fully in there. They have it embedded into their TOS that they're allowed to do that, and they're fully able to do that. And it's really our problem to come up with a way around that and to avoid the problem of being deplatformed, what they call. By making our own platform. And the way you make your own platform is by first making your own website. And, obviously it comes with a load of problems. You got to find a domain provider, and then, a website, a builder if you wanted to go the simple route, or a hosting provider. There's a lot of services out there, and I'm pretty simple with my setup. I just went with Google Sites, google.com/sites, or sites.google.com, I believe. You can go there and you can basically design a website right now for free through Google's interface. And it's pretty easy. You could probably make a website in like 10 minutes. Without a domain, it'll be a pretty long link. The same, like, it'll have your email in it pretty much. So you'll have to deal with that. But, you can go out and get a domain pretty cheap. Namecheap is the domain provider that I highly recommend. I think they're just the easiest to work with. They're kind of like the GoDaddy of today. If you knew what GoDaddy's domain hosting was back then, I used to use GoDaddy as well. I think they're good as well, but, Namecheap is the cheapest I've found. So you could probably get a .com domain. I say they got a deal on there for like $1 or $2 a year for your first year or first 2 years. There's a deal like that where it's like, why not do it? Throw it like less than $5 at setting up a website domain at least, so you got your name, so no one else takes it. And I recommend Paul Abernathy. He told me, and he said it in his podcast, to get .com, .net, any popular ending tag there that, someone might steal from you. You don't want someone to domain squat you. So, and obviously, it costs money to domain squat, but if you care about your name that much, they will do it. So it's something to be aware of. And, there's a lot of things that come with setting up a website, kind of what you want to do, your layout, your theme. I really recommend just going for something simple, text-based, and, doesn't really require a lot of pictures and embeds and all these crazy pop-ups. Just a simple old school website that you would have probably seen in the early 2000s, is what you want to go for. Maybe not as bloated with ads or pop-ups or anything like that, or slow with loading times, but you want it to be simple and easy to navigate and easy to find and easy to view. And to get a website easy to find, it's really going to come down to what you're putting into your website, what you're talking about, how you're writing things out, how you lay it out, and the uniqueness of your tagging and your name. You're gonna have to get a little creative, And that's why I recommend, like, I really think every, like, I could see one day where everyone just has a website to their name. You can just type in their name and their website pops up, because that's how common I think websites should be. Because that's like your billboard, not just your billboard, but it's how people know you and figure you out, and know what you do, what you are, and what you're capable of. And I think everyone should just know how to make their own website, even through a website builder, or even if you want to go uh, the cool way route, and some script kiddie is out there that can easily code a website like within 15 minutes without the use of AI or anything. So, somebody's going to unlock that potential and realize what they can really do. So that's why I recommend you should just play with it at least. If you're thinking of putting yourself out there into um, be like being an educator online, or putting your brand out there, if you want to build a brand, obviously you don't have to put yourself out there. You can sit in the back of the classroom and you can just get the same amount of education and same amount of success as anyone who sits in the front of the class and is always raising their hand and asking questions and putting themselves out there, and going up to the front of the whole classroom and talking about whatever they want to talk about. you know every you'll figure it out, and it's really going to come down to what your capability is of learning and comprehending, and pushing yourself to level that up and be better at learning and comprehending things, so you can gather more knowledge about what you want to do. But I really think to reach a completely next level and become not just somebody who kind of, you're just in the shadows, but to be somebody that can influence others to come out of the shadows, which will also influence more people to come out of the shadows. And then you got all these people that you never knew had this capability to show their capabilities. I try to be pretty profound with what I just said, but I don't know if it worked. But I hope somebody's understanding what I'm saying and can relate to it somehow, and understand that putting yourself out there is better than not putting yourself out there at all, and just remaining still. Because at least when you put yourself out there, you can't remain still. You have to do what you say. You have to do as you do, and as you say you do. So I really recommend building a website and just at least just putting your resume on it. If you're a new apprentice, or you're just coming out of school or something, put your resume on there. You can put like your education, about you, your biography, like just about you. Your maybe you can put like a picture. You don't even have to get that personal with it. Just make a logo. Ask AI to make a logo for you. Pretty simple right there. And you can ask AI you can literally talk into AI and tell it to write a nice bio for you, and then you can put it right there on your site, and you'll have a nice little homepage for little Timmy's education at whatever.com. And little you can see little Timmy's cool resume about how he wants to be an educator someday, and you can see what school he went to and what he's planning on doing and where he works. So that's why I think having a website is pretty good, and it's so simple. Once you got it, you got a URL for your site, your own domain. You can start making little like QR code printouts, and then you can just make like your own little like personal cards to give out to people. Like, here, this is where you can find me, informational card. Find me on my website, or they can just scan it and get it right onto their phone from the QR code. So it's almost like a no-brainer to get your own website, especially for how cheap the domains are these days. Especially if you can just come up with a unique name. All you need is like the littlest amount of creativity,
and you can do it. And then once you get going on it, it'll kind of just come to you what to do and how you want to do it. And then the theme, the uniqueness will flow through you into your site. You know, you got to make it like look like you. You know, don't try to go off of anyone else's site. I mean, you can. You know, you can go off of my site. You know, if you like pink and you want to go off of my site because you think it looks cool, go ahead. But and turn it pink. You know, it's a downloadable theme, but you you can put your own uniqueness into it by editing that theme. You know, that's what people should do. You know, don't try to can't can't stay the same, and you can't remain motionless, and you can't not try to take that next step to elevating yourself to the next level. So, you know, you'll never know if you don't try, and you'll never fail if you don't even try. You'll never win if you don't try. Just give it a try. See if it works. You know, I never thought I'd get as far as I'm going now with my website and stuff because I kind of thought it was stupid, and other people around me were calling it stupid. But I'm pretty happy with it. Other people find value in it, and that's all that really matters. Is as long as you're happy with it, and you know, like your foreman at the end of the day thinks it's cool. Like that's all that really you cared about. You know, like if that's how your foreman found you out and knows about you, and he thinks that's a really cool part about your personality is that you have your own website and you're into electrical, because you talk about it on your website, then you know you're on the right track. Um, so I really recommend getting a website. If you can't get a website, get a link tree because that's the next like right underneath that you can throw all your social medias into one thing, one like drop down menu of links, and that's where everyone can find you. And then you can just update that as well. Uh, you know, and think of archiving your stuff. You know, think about stuff getting deleted or deplatformed. You want to think about things like that, especially if you're making content that you know you would consider evergreen. You plan on people seeing again in the future, years down the line, um, and you plan on coming back to, or you plan on showing others in the future. You want to make archives of this information in your content and the stuff you put effort into so you can find it again and so it has a spot somewhere so someone can find it. Oh, I just dropped my phone that I was using to record. But even if it's multiple platforms, you know, I'm on so many. You can find Josh the Sparky or Josh Sparky 4 on all sorts of platforms uploading the same type of content. Um, because I try to get my leaves as far as possible spreaded. I'm trying to think of an analogy, but you know, if I'm a tree, I want my leaves to be everywhere. If my content is leaves, I want it to be everywhere. I want all eyes on me. You know, I want everyone to see what I'm doing and what I'm putting out, and I want to try to draw attention to the electrical trade and the uh, how cool electricity is, and you know Josh the Sparky and what I'm trying to do, and as well as NEC chat and you know the cool people and systems and educators and the cool things I found that really don't get any attention whatsoever. You know that like a normal apprentice coming out of high school or you know just a kid coming out of high school who wants to get into electrical, he wouldn't be able to find any of this stuff because of how low key it is. You know, it's not really talked about. No one really shares any information either. So, you know, I want to be that that person that kind of starts a trend, you know, of just free flowing information constantly because we are in the age of information. You know, you had your Stone Age, you got your like your steampunk age, right? Your Bronze Age. We're in the age of information. You know, information is so easy to find and learn and educate yourself. And you know, that's what I want to try to do and talk about and kind of make a community around and just try to make some sort of mark. So yeah, I'm running out of things to say for this one, but hopefully somebody caught the drift of what I was saying. And if you want more like this, follow Josh the Sparky, all platforms, Josh the Sparky 4, Josh the Sparky and joshthesparky.com. And yeah, daily content all the time. And nechat.com for the weekly questions. So, yeah.